everybody. I have Mike Tetlock on the phone. How are we doing today?
Oh, just fine. How about you?
Good, good. So you are a driver. Tell us what you do. How you were with what? John Deere? Is that who you're with? Or
Yeah, well, I work for CPC Logistics,
right.
and it's a driver service, but I've been hauling for them for John Deere for 23 years.
Oh, okay. All right. And now, how long have you been driving all together? Is that your total driving time as well?
No, since 85. I got my license. So I've been driving for a living since 85.
You're about the same as me. I think I got my license Class A in 82. So we're about the same. I stopped after 25. You still keep going though.
Yeah.
So tell us what your week's like now. What do you do? What's your run like now? Where you go? Those kind of things.
Well, I run a scheduled run from Sunday to Thursday, and I make 2 trips down to Minnesota per week. So I leave Sunday, I'm back Tuesday, I go out Tuesday night, and I'm back Thursday.
Now you're based out of Edmonton? Whereabouts?
Regina, Saskatchewan. Yeah,
Saskatchewan. So I guess it's not, because in Toronto here, that's not a two-day trip. That's a lot longer going that way.
Oh, it would be, yeah.
So how'd you begin? What made you get into trucking? Tell us about how you got into the business here, because people are going, I don't want nothing to do with this, but everybody's in it. So.
Oh yeah. Well, my dad was a trucker almost his whole life, and even when I was 10 years old, I was going trucking with him, delivering groceries and that kind of stuff, and it just got me interested in it even as a kid. So I knew that's what I wanted to do.
You ever get bored after all that time? Like, that's a lot of time in the seat, a lot of miles you've put on. Do you ever get bored? Or?
No, not really. Obviously, you get tired from time to time, but I just enjoy driving, and driving truck has always been what I wanted to do.
So you've been recognized as a Hall of Fame driver, and I've interviewed a few of you guys. Kudos to you guys. That's a super accomplishment. From a professional standpoint, what in your mind makes a professional driver? What makes somebody professional, just as a general driver, not you necessarily?
Paying close attention to what you're doing at all times. Pay attention to what's around you at all times. I mean, when you're out in the open road, it's a little easier, but when you're going through cities and that, you better be paying close attention to what's around you. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself into a lot of trouble.
I used to run New Jersey and New York on a regular basis, and trust me, the cars are piled. You've got just enough room. I remember I was taking a test with somebody else when I changed carriers, and they said, "Why are you taking all your corners so wide?" I said, "Because usually there's a ton of cars on that corner." I've always gotten in that habit, right? So okay. So now did you know you're going to be a Hall of Fame driver?
No, I didn't. No. My dispatcher just phoned me last week and let me know about it. And then my safety guy phoned me the next day, Charlie Shields. He phoned me the next day and told me about it. I was actually quite surprised.
Yeah. Well, it's a big accomplishment. I don't know how many they have each year, but I think they've selected like 4 or 5 this year. I'm not sure how many they've actually got going, but I know there was a couple the last time that I interviewed some of the guys. It was 2 guys there. So great. That's congratulations. That's a way to do it. So what makes you, did you focus on that at all? Like, if you thought, you know what, if I just keep that record clean and just keep doing what I can do, I'm going to be a Hall of Fame driver. Have you ever had thoughts of awards and all of that kind of stuff? Or?
No, that never crossed my mind whatsoever. No, never did. I just, you do your job every week and collect a paycheck, and you're not really expecting anything like this, but it's quite the surprise when you do get it.
Does it make you operate differently when you are what now? Because guys are looking up to you now, right? Whether you want them to or not, they're going, "Hey, we got to step it up to be a Hall of Fame driver."
I'm not even sure. I'm just going to do my job week to week.
Yeah.
Nothing's been going wrong so far, so I'm not going to change anything now, I don't think.
Yeah. What keeps things fresh for you? Because we were just talking that, it can get very monotonous after a while. What keeps the jobs, especially on a dedicated run like yourself? That's sometimes it can get very boring because you're almost mindless going where you're going, right?
Yeah, that's true. Well, you get your favorite things you listen to on the radio all the time that keeps your mind working while you're going down the road. And I started listening to some books on memory sticks or a flash drive, and it keeps your mind focused at all times, most of the time anyway. So yeah. It helps.
You got to keep it fresh for you, however that is for you, right? That's the best way to best way to do it. What tip would you give to some new drivers? Let's say we're a new driver. Mike, how do I do what you do for so long and do it the way you do? What would you tell me? What would you tell a new driver?
Well, like I said earlier, most of the time when you're around other vehicles, pay close attention. And when it comes to wintertime, the most important thing is slow down. I mean, when the roads are bad, you slow down, you're usually going to stay pretty safe.
Is it fairly mountainous where you run? I don't run a lot that area, so I'm not sure. Is it?
No, it's all flat. It's all flat land, right from Saskatchewan, North Dakota, and into Minnesota. There's not too many hills.
I ran. If you took a knife and cut the United States in half, I'm the eastern half. I never got that far west, so probably I think Nebraska was as far west as I really ran. You know, that a lot of Texas and Florida as well too. So it's good. What do you know? Our industry's changing, especially with the pandemic. Have you felt everybody's been thanking a trucker? Have you felt more thankful since you've been out there running with the road? Are you now an essential service, as they say?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. When it first started, I wasn't too sure if they were going to be closing the borders and making us stay home too as well. Yeah. But I appreciated the fact that they kept the borders open for essential workers. So my schedule, none of our schedules really changed at all, which helped.
Did you see things? I know up around here in Ontario, we've got a lot of people who are doing, like, thank a trucker. They're going to truck stops, giving away good. Have you seen any of that kind of stuff in your area there?
No, I can't really say I have. No.
They're going, just let them do what they do. That's what they do, right? So,
yeah.
What do you think we need to do for our industry to make it better? You know, one of the reasons I've got this podcast is because so many people, I've had a good career in the industry, and it's been 40 years, 25 behind the wheel and 14 behind the mic here. And people always get down on it, but it's a great career. And I look at people like yourselves who've been doing it your whole life, your family's been doing it. What do we need to change? Is something we need to change to tell the newer people, like, hey, this is good. Come and try it.
Well, the one thing they did change just a few years ago was a lot more training. Like when I was first coming into it, there was no training. No. You know, I traveled with my dad, and you get a little bit of time behind the wheel, and away you go. If you get your license, you go trucking. But now with the training schools and all that kind of stuff, I think they probably have a way better start in the business because of the training.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same, but I had a good friend train me, and I'm not sure that we've got worse training. We may not have gotten the formal training, but I know he taught me some real amazing things on how to keep that thing upright, right? So you probably
definitely, yeah.
What would you like to tell those outside of the industry that are not, used to trucking and transportation? What would you tell somebody that's outside of the industry on how on what the good is, or what the professionalism that's in the industry?
Well, for the most part, most drivers are very professional. It doesn't matter what the profession is. There's bound to be some bad in it. Yeah. But most truckers that I see out there are just trying to keep everybody safe, keep themselves safe. And unfortunately, we all have to share the highway, yeah. So maybe cars, four-wheelers should consider, like you said earlier about being in a city and making sharp or big wide turns around corners. There's plenty of cars trying to sneak in there while you're trying to make that wide corner. And it'd be nice if more of them would appreciate the fact that we need a little bit more room out there.
Yeah. Does your when you do your runs, are you going terminal? What kind of places do you deliver to when you're on your run?
I just go down to Minnesota. It's pin to pin.
Oh, okay.
I go down, drop my trailer. Somebody else brings my load, and I head back home.
Oh, that's a nice run. You don't even have to worry about the whole delay thing and all that unloading.
Well, I mean, we have to take our 10 or 12 hours off when we get there before we can come back. But other than that, no, it's just a scheduled run.
Yeah,
and it goes no matter whether there's much freight or not.
Yeah. Well, I would have liked to beat you. I probably would have seen you down at PMTC if you came down this year, but now it's gone virtual, so we're doing it this way. But congratulations on being a Hall of Fame driver. You've keep our industry looking good. That's what we need, more of you, right?
I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks.
Well, that's great. That's great. Well, thank you so much. I know it's your day off, so I'm going to let you go to it, Mike. But thank you very much for all you're doing, and congratulations again. And look forward to meeting you someday for sure.
All right, for sure. Okay, thanks.
Perfect.
Yeah, good talking to you.